Boston police and state police and local police across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts responded with professionalism and bravery over 5 long days. And tonight, because of their determined efforts, we've closed an important chapter in this tragedy.
Breaking news today, 2 possible explosions occurred near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. There are reports that many people, spectators and runners, were impacted at the blast, but of course the details are still unfolding as we speak.
There's blood in the streets. There's everything is sort of speculation at this point. It looks like there are reports that an explosion went off in or near a sporting goods store near the finish line, and that there was a second one then, and also that a third bomb or device was found unexploded near a hotel.
This is the corner of Stewart and Dartmouth Street in downtown Boston, 2 blocks away from the finish line of the Boston Marathon. At this time of day, you'd normally see people hugging their loved ones, happy about the marathon and their results. Instead, what you're hearing are sirens and some confusion. You're not allowed to go down the street, and people wondering what's going on. This is a couple of blocks away from the site of the explosion.
We don't yet have all the answers, but we do know that multiple people have been wounded, some gravely, in explosions at the Boston Marathon. Make no mistake, we will get to the bottom of this, and we will find out who did this. We'll find out why they did this. Any responsible individuals, any responsible groups will feel the full weight of justice.
The morning after the city of Boston's proudest days on the calendar, the city is waking up today in recovery mode and still looking for answers in the wake of Monday's bombing that rocked the Boston Marathon. Here is the latest on the update as we know it right now. 3 people are confirmed dead and more than 140 injured.
It seemed like nobody really knew what to do for a second, and then people started running from that street from Boylston. We were on Newberry. And then within 5 seconds of that, the second one went off.
There is a great deal of evidence to be pulled off that scene. And, everything from the chemical residue to the blast pattern that will tell us, the type of devices, the resources that were used for those devices. There's communications and financial research, a great deal of material. We will identify who was involved in this.
The FBI now asking for spectators, for anyone who was there on the ground yesterday when this happened, to send in their video. Is this going to be something that's going to help them sort of figure out who the perpetrator was of this, Jim?
Yeah, years ago, the Joint Terrorism Task Force have some great tools that the U.S. government's interagency. They'll take those videos, those cell phone calls, those texts, everything they have, and those analysts will be working 24/7 to pull out any type of intelligence they can grab to help focus in, on who the perpetrators were and where the threat was coming from.
Today, we are enlisting the public's help to identify the 2 suspects. After a very detailed analysis of photo, video, and other evidence, we are releasing photos of these 2 suspects. They are identified as Suspect 1 and Suspect 2. They appear to be associated. Suspect 1 is wearing a dark hat. Suspect 2 is wearing a white hat.
Dramatic developments overnight in the Boston Marathon bombing case, including a fatal shooting of an MIT campus police officer, a carjacking, and a police chase and a shootout. The man in the black baseball cap is dead. His brother, the man in the white baseball cap, is still at large. And just a few moments ago, authorities asked residents of the entire city of Boston, all 600,000 of them, not to leave their homes.
We believe this to be a terrorist. We believe this to be a man who's come here to kill people. We need to get him in custody.
The city of Boston is in lockdown at noontime today as the manhunt for a second suspect in the Boston Marathon bombings continues.
The focus of law enforcement right now is finding this second suspect. His name is Jokar Tsarnaev, and he is 19 years old.
So Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, one of the two brothers of Chechnyan descent, 19 years old, still at large. He is the brother that people remember seeing wearing the white baseball cap in the photos that were released yesterday. Police do believe he is armed, extremely dangerous. Some dramatic testimony from a man who says, claims to be the uncle of these young men.
I say, Johar, if you're alive, turn yourself in and ask for forgiveness from the victims, from the injured, and from those who left. Ask forgiveness from these people.
A high-stakes manhunt putting the entire city of Boston on lockdown as police search door-to-door for 19-year-old Dzhokhar Tsarnaev.
There's just this whole place is covered with police and police tape, and they seem to be combing the area. It's not clear exactly what they're looking for, but we're told they're going to do a controlled explosion. I'm thinking maybe they think there are explosions, explosive devices in the house.
Well, we remain committed to this. We do not have an apprehension of our suspect this afternoon, but we will have one. We're committed to that.
A man had gone out of his house after being inside the house all day, abiding by our request to stay inside. He walked outside and he saw blood on a boat in the backyard. He then opened the tarp on the top of the boat and he looked in and saw a man covered with blood. He retreated and called us. We set up a perimeter around that boat, and over the course of the next hour or so, we exchanged gunfire with the suspect who was inside the boat, and ultimately the hostage rescue team of the FBI made an entry into the boat and removed the suspect who was still alive in the boat.
I want to thank all of the partners who worked tirelessly over the last 4 days. We're exhausted, folks, but we have a victory here tonight.